Okay, welcome everyone. This is Beth McCarty, founder and coach with the MLM Millionaire Club, School for Network Marketers, making network marketing simple. So glad you can join us tonight on our special open house night that everyone is invited to attend. And we are recording this here so that you can share it later with your friends and family and team. And we have a wonderful celebration this week. October 6th is the 13th anniversary of the School for Network Marketers, the MLM Millionaire Club. So we're doing all this to celebrate, and there's a week long of gifts and prizes and drawings and giveaways and everything over at the Facebook event called the MLM Millionaire Club Anniversary Party. So I'll be posting the link for that, you could find it under the Facebook events, MLM Millionaire Club Anniversary Party. So lots of free stuff we're giving away over there. I think you will love it. Educational and things to build your business, and games and prizes, and we have drawings, and we have a game every morning to play for winning prizes. So tonight is really the highlight of it, this open house. We have panel members tonight. We're going to start out with 3 of the star students of the MLM Millionaire Club, and they are going to tell you, they're going to share with you. Hey Jeff, good. They're going to share with you their top tip of all time to build their business. So we're going to start out with Dr. Harvey Kitzman. He is a doctor of nutrition and has been in business many years, very successful. He's possibly one of the longest members in the MLM Millionaire Club, an incredible student and teacher in there both. And I just love what he shares. And he told me he has these 3 really good tips for you tonight. So he's brought 3. So Dr. Harvey, take it away.
Okay, welcome. And thank you, Bess, for the opportunity to speak tonight. 3 tips, I'll make this brief. 3 tips that I would give to you from what I've taken away from my years in working in network marketing. Tip number 1, don't pressure people to join your group. Because when you pressure people, first of all, it's going to weird them out. But secondly, they're going to be able to smell the commission breath that you have on you. Okay. For example, with the company that I work with, we need to help 2 people start their businesses before we're eligible for commission checks. And the president of our company has a little visual he does, takes a big old glass jar, puts 2 jelly beans in it, and shakes it up really big, saying, come on, you got to sign up with me, you got to sign up so we can make a lot of money, come on. And, you know, it's crazy trying to do that. Some will, some won't, so what, who's next? And I know that was tough for me to get over, especially as I was starting off, but just beware, don't badger people to join your crew. Because remember, it's not about signing up people, it's about helping people who are teachable, trainable, coachable, and willing to follow a system, set up their own business. Okay, that's thing number 1. Thing number 2 is to be careful to make sure that the people you do decide to partner with are the right people. I've had some people that I've spent time with that I lost because later on I discovered that they weren't willing to do the things that I told them they needed to do, and as such didn't really do much. But unfortunately, I wasted a lot of time working with them when they were not going to be able to reproduce what it was that I was telling them to do. So, and that's a common problem that a lot of people have when it comes to direct sales and network marketing. So now my team and I, we've developed a series of 3 steps, step 1, 2, and 3. 3 specific emails where we send out to prospective business partners and say, hey, watch this video, answer these questions, come up with this list, and let's talk in a couple of days. If they're not willing to do the first step, then that's sort of a weed out step. I mean, it's nothing big. It's like, just watch a video and come up with a list of people you think might be good people to partner with. If they can't do that, well, chances are they won't be able to do the rest of this stuff. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3, and I think the most important tip, is get involved with networking groups. Those of you who have been on these calls or have heard me speak before, I've heard this many times, but I will say this. I would have quit my business years ago were not for networking groups. We have some local free groups in the area, and this is before Meetup. Okay, now with Meetup, there's a whole lot of new different networking groups. But the partners that I got, and most of the partners that I got, and several of the customers that I have currently are ones that I've met in networking groups. It's not a fast way to build your business. It's one of those things where you got to be consistent. You got to come to networking groups, and you've got to speak at networking groups. You got to tell them what it is you do so that they can be farmers for you, so they can refer you to other people. And you just have to be consistent with it. So it's like I said, it's a slower way to build, but it's consistent, and it's one that's worked for me. So I highly recommend. There's plenty of free groups out there. There are groups that you can pay for. There are groups that are free. The paid groups, well, you'll have to evaluate those for yourself. I'm not going to make any comment on them. I like the free ones. So those would be the 3 tips that I have for you.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Harvey. I met you at a networking group in Austin,
Yes.
Texas, when I used to live there about 10 years ago.
Right.
So we've been friends ever since. You know, things take
Exactly.
time, huh? And things get rich over time. I'm so glad you have been in the MLM Millionaire Club and brought so much richness to us.
Well, thank you for all you do.
My pleasure. Now, if anyone has questions, write them down, jot them down, because in the second half, we're going to take questions from our panel members. So, you know, if anything comes up, you want to ask them or ask the group, jot that down, please, so you don't forget it. And next, I want to introduce our, I'm going to put up a screen share here for you so that you can see Becky. Okay, this is Becky Gustavsen, and she is another wonderful member of the MLM Millionaire Club School, and she is 83 years old, and she is proving that at any age you can run a really good business, and she has some great tips for us. I'm putting up her picture because she is just dialing in by phone from Toronto, or from Canada tonight. Becky, would you like to share your wisdom?
Yes, actually, I'm from Lacombe, Alberta, and we just had 4 or 5 inches of snow today, our first big snowfall of the year.
Woo!
Hope it doesn't. There's a Russian proverb that says, if you chase 2 rabbits, you won't catch either one. And that's one of the best things I've learned in the past few months, to narrow my focus. To be consistent and persistent and keep talking to people, to do that every day or at least 5 days out of the week. Otherwise, you lose momentum. For instance, for about a month, I was contacting 20 to 60 people a day, but then I stopped because I wasn't getting results. And then I got busy doing other things, and I lost the good feelings that I had when I was not doing what I set out to do. So, and it's much harder to get momentum back once you've stopped. The other night, Adrienne shared this story about the bamboo story, and I hope you're not going to tell it, or if you do, yours would probably be better than mine, Adrienne. So, a Chinese farmer was struggling to survive and provide for his family, and he plants some bamboo seeds and sets his hope and vision on all it will provide when it towers up to 90 feet above his head. With a heart toward the future, he digs hole after hole and plants bamboo seeds in each hole, and then he begins his care. Day after day, he carries water to the spots he's marked, and because it's human nature to want to see results, he carefully inspects the spots every day. Nothing. Knowing he has to feed his family, he plants other crops carefully sown around the spots that contain the real hope of his future. He continues to water and feed them every day nothing. The other crops sprout, in weeks and provide nourishment for his family within months, but they provide nothing for his future. The Chinese bamboo seeds contain all his hopes, all his dreams for the future. A whole year goes by, nothing. 2 years, nothing. 3 years, nothing. 4 years, nothing. His neighbors laugh at him. They mock his vision for the future. They look on with scorn as he hauls buckets of water to the spot. He begins to question himself. Another year goes by. Finally, 5 years, nothing. The farmer is tired. He cannot believe after so many years the vision of a better life for his family melts away under harsh reality for him. And then the miracle happens. The spots begin to grow and send out shoots, and then they grow. Then they really start to grow to 5 feet, 10 feet. In just 6 weeks, the bamboo has grown to 90 feet tall. 5 years of nothing, and then this, 90 feet in 6 weeks. The things he learned, and perhaps the most important things he learned, is to plant a dream, to do the daily things that would make it a reality. He learned to ignore those who said it couldn't happen. Push part of his own fear and keep taking action. Have faith when there was no reason to have faith. His neighbors are now hauling water to their spots where they planted bamboo seeds. So,
thank you, Becky.
You're welcome.
And I want to say that I appreciate you so much in the MLM Millionaire Club, the heart that you bring, and the caring, the sweetness, I don't know, when we role play and practice prospecting in there, it seems like you, I never want to say no to you, because you bring so much love and care and good common sense and good things to say when we practice prospecting. I think you do know how to speak to people and what's in it for them, so thank you very much for your suggestions and gifts. And we'll go to our next speaker, Adrienne Congleton. I think you guys can see her now when she speaks, and she's another wonderful member of the club who always says, yes, let's do it, let's learn. Oh, this is hard. Okay, you're going to challenge me. Okay, yes, let's do it. She's a real positive lady that I can't wait to see what's going to evolve for you.
Well, thank you, Beth. What I love about coaching with Beth is that she's just so caring and so nurturing, and the consistent weekly classes are helping me to grow. And MLM, for me, they say it's a personal development with a product attached. So it illuminates any of my weaknesses, character defects, time management, planning, all of that. So people that want to grow and change and evolve tend to be more attracted to network marketing as opposed to other industries. But the favorite thing I've learned from Beth is to listen. And, I've had a bad habit of interrupting people and being too excited. So I'm learning to listen to what the person has to say. And sometimes I can hear where there's something I can possibly help them with. And I'm very low-key, and I say, perhaps I can help you in that area. It may or may not be for you. So I'm not overly excited, overly anxious or pushy. I'm very empathetic, and and I might be able to help them, and I might not, and that's the attitude that I have. One of the favorite thing that I've learned from participating is that the good meal starts with hunger. That has just makes so much sense to me, because if the person is not hungry, they're not going to be interested. But oftentimes people, if I listen to them, there is an area where they're hungry, because everyone wants something. So I'm just learning from Beth and participating with the other members every week to listen more, to work from a schedule, to talk to people properly, and just be a professional and work on myself. And as I work on myself, I get better at communicating with other people. This is an industry that's very simple, but it's not easy because so many things are involved. But being in the club has helped me to learn that the future looks very bright. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adrienne. I do like that. Probably that's my favorite thing, too, is the good meal starts with hunger. So we want people to be hungry for what we have to share, a tool about your product or your business. We want them to be hungry and be aware of their need for it before we offer it, before we offer that tool. And that's how we really always get a yes in the MLM Millionaire Club. So thank you very much. This is so great. Hope you guys are taking good notes. Remember, if you have any questions, jot those down, and we'll take those in just a few minutes. After our fourth guest speaker, Jeffrey David Campbell is a good friend, and he has agreed to be our special guest speaker tonight. He is master of a million things. He's the owner of Meridian Street Realty Group, a residential real estate sales, and the owner of a holistic health center. He's a certified John Maxwell coach. We know that's all about leadership. And he's built 2 network marketing teams over $5,000 each. He's personally recruited over 500 frontline people. So one heck of an expert. And he's also getting his naturopathic doctor degree. He's going to do some really wonderful things with coaching. So watch him on Facebook, Jeffrey David Gamble. And you'll see him on my Facebook page a lot. You can find him there. Tonight he's going to talk with us about, he's going to give us 5 tips on recruiting. So I'll turn it over to you, Jeffrey.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, well guys, some of the stuff she said I appreciate, but all I can say is I've been doing this a little bit longer than some people, so it's not necessarily all about results right away. It's just being in. My first 10 years, I didn't really get a lot done. I came to every event. I bought a lot of books. I can't say that I read a lot. I have a lot behind me right now, but I didn't start actually reading and really developing and growing until about 10 years in. I listened. I wrote things down, but I really didn't start learning the business because I was one of those people that thought I already knew it. Because I had done well in the mortgage business. So the first tip is be humble or be stupid. I should have just been stupid in the beginning. But one of my mentors came to me and he said, well, if you know everything, your bank account isn't showing it. And, I was one of those people that needed to get kicked in the head to realize what was going on. They tried to say it nicely, and it just didn't work. So the first tip is just really be humble. The second tip would be become a student. And what I mean become a student is if you're a student, a lot of people are casual learners, and a casual learner won't invest any money. A casual learner won't invest any time. A casual learner kind of sits in the back of the room and shakes their head, and that was me. I mean, I sat in the back. I thought I knew it, but my results were zero. My bank account was sometimes less than zero from thinking I knew everything. So becoming a student has a couple different aspects to it. Number one is, be that humble person, but number two is show up with a notebook, sit up front, and try to find something that you don't know. I used to say, oh, yeah, I know that. And I would check, oh, yeah, I know that. but there was a lot of stuff I was missing. I heard what I wanted to hear rather than what I needed to hear. And sometimes you just have to get to that point. So that's really the second tip, is be a student. Number 3 is something that I've learned from John Maxwell, and he says, develop your 5s. And he said, John Maxwell's kind of an interesting guy. He's the #1 paid speaker in the world outside of sports figures, celebrities, and politicians. So, I mean, I don't like to throw out just numbers, but he earns $125,000 a speech. And when I heard that, I almost wanted to punch my guidance counselor in the face. I was like, where was this on career day? But really, when I looked at it, I was like, wow, how do you go from never speaking? I mean, think about this, he started speaking professionally in personal development at the age of 40, but really he started much before that. So part of the reason for his success is he spent so many years honing that skill that when he finally came out and said, look, I'm going to do this for a living, he had spent from age 20 to age 40 inside the church speaking every Sunday, so, writing and speaking. So he said eventually what he did is he found out that he came up with 5 things that he did every single day, and those 5 things are what's created his success. It's created his ability to speak. It's created his ability to, I mean, this also makes me mad. He's written over 80 books, and he's only been writing books for 40 years. 2 a year. I mean, like, I would like to write a book in my lifetime. I haven't set the bar high enough, obviously. But he said there's a reason why he's been able to spit out so much content. He said every single day he sits down, and number 1, he reads. Number 2, he writes. Number 3, he questions. Number 4, he thinks. And number 5, he files. Now, don't ask me to repeat that because that came off the top of my head because I've said it so many times to myself. I'm like, think about what John Maxwell does every single day. And he was questioned about this in front of the Maxwell team people, and they're like, really, John, every day? They're like, what about Christmas? He's like, yes, on Christmas. They're like, what about your birthday? He's like, yes, on my birthday. They said, what about going on vacation? He's like, yeah, on vacation too. He's like, every single day I do this. He goes, generally, I do this before everybody gets up. He's like, I'll get up at 4 in the morning, and I'll get all of this done before 6 a.m. before anybody's awake. And I'm like, well, you definitely get everything done before that. I was not awake by 6 a.m. But he would get more stuff done when people were asleep because nobody would kind of come in and interrupt. But he said those 5 things are what's given him the ability to create all the content, to be able to speak, to be able to read, to be able to do whatever. He said what you have to do is you have to find those 5 things inside of whatever profession you're in. Now, he was talking to a group of us of about 2,800 people and who all paid an enormous amount of money to sit in front of him. And he's like, every single one of you have a different profession, are going to go a different route and talk to different people. But he said, at the heart of what you do, you get good at what you do. Some people are very good at complaining, because they do it every day and they practice. Some people are very healthy because they eat right and they go to the gym and they're concerned about nutrition. But you have to develop your 5. Another mentor of mine said most people don't figure it out because they never figure out the few things that they need to get good at. And I thought that was kind of profound when I then learned David Bird and John Maxwell. So David Bird was a guy who told me that. He was a professional coach as well. He no longer coaches. But he was able to tell me that, and I thought, wow, they're kind of saying the same thing. Then I read in Darren Hardy's book, The Compound Effect, and Darren Hardy kind of hints at the fact of you have to find half a dozen things that you can do consistently that add up over time. So if you've read that book, I know Bess is shaking her head. She's definitely read that book. So what I've learned is there's, like Jim Rohn says, it's a half a dozen things that make you successful. So I started reading these guys, and I'm like, wow, they're all kind of saying the same thing. And then I looked at my 5 things, and I wasn't doing the 5 things that I should have been doing to get good at recruiting, which are obviously prospecting every day, being able to present to somebody every single day, being able to follow up with somebody every single day, being able to promote every single day. Those were things that you just had to do. And personal development, I made one of those. So it was personal development. You know, I wanted to listen every single day to a personal development audio. I wanted to read every single day. And I did those two things before I did anything else, because I learned from, he's actually a Navy SEAL. I learned from this Navy SEAL. He said, you know, we taught everybody to get up every day and make their bed. And I don't know if you've seen this video, but I'd read about this and heard this speech before, but he did a video recently. And he said, the very first thing we do is we teach people to make their bed, because you have to have some type of accomplishment every single day. And confidence, it's really wild. Confidence comes from doing simple things well and accomplishing something every single day, something that you can point out. So not only do you want to accomplish something every day, but you want to point that out in others, what they're accomplishing, what they're good at. People love compliments. That would probably be, that wasn't even on this tip list, but tip 4 would be, outside of finding your 5, compliment people every single day. One of my mentors that unfortunately has passed away was one of the funniest guys like I've ever met in my life. Like, no matter what we were doing, we were standing in line in Atlanta, and I was like, I was getting questioned, you know, where is everybody? And the largest guy in the corporation that I was in happened to be standing in front of us, so I didn't know it was him. And I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, there doesn't seem to be anybody from this company here. And he turns around and goes, well, I'm here. I'm like, well, you are the company. I'm like, that's great. But just everything he did was fun, and he would just compliment people. And it was amazed at how often those compliments would, you know, move him to first class, and those compliments would get him a front row seat, and those compliments would just open doors that you just wouldn't normally get open. His goal was to constantly bring people together. So step 4, compliment people rather than criticize. Most of us have become very good at pointing out what's wrong rather than pointing out what's right. There's another book, The Slight Edge. It says, by the time we're 5 years old, we've heard no 40,000 times, and we've heard yes 5,000 times. People crave to be right. People crave to be listened to. I know Adrienne made that great point. I should just go back over your guys' notes that have already talked and just kind of summarize that, and that would be good enough. But the last tip that I have about recruiting is plan your day before your day begins. It's something that professionals I found do that I was not like that. I was not a person that was like, okay, tomorrow, here's the most important thing I'm going to do, and here's when I'm going to do it and who I'm going to call. So if you have a list, let's say you have a lead list, whether that lead list came from something you bought or something you developed or something you put together online, grab that information and have it out and ready the day before. The reason being is most of us live life by circumstance, and we'll get up every day and be like, okay, I'm excited, now I'm going to do something. But if you're not excited, you're not going to do something. Or maybe you have a bad day or something goes on. I don't know if you've ever had those days where just everything gets in the way. If you plan out to do your personal development first thing, it will set the tone and the attitude for everything else you do the whole day. When I read first thing in the morning, I notice the relationships I have positive coming out rather than the news or negativity or circumstance. I'm dictating what's happening, and that has such an impact on people, especially when you ask questions like, hey, have you ever heard this quote? And then it's funny. If you ever want to change somebody's mindset completely, you ask, hey, have you ever heard this quote? And then you tell them the quote. And what it does is it makes them think about the quote and then think if they've ever heard it before. And it'll change the mindset of the person. Don't use that against anybody, but you can use it against people is what I'm saying. So that's really the 5 tips that I have, you know. Which one's the most important? It's kind of like what Adrienne said. There's more than one thing. There's more than one thing that needs to be done. It is simple, but it also has a lot of different steps. So just piece by piece, you got to put it together. Work harder on yourself than you do anything else. That's why personal development, I think I've heard every single person here talk about it. And that's why Beth is so great because that's something I know that she's constantly talking about. I see all of the posts, all of the tips, all the videos. Personal development's at the heart of this, guys. It's the glue that holds it all together. So with that, I will turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Jeff. I know you took this time out of your day and you got to run to another event, but you guys, that's how Jeff recruited 500 people personally. So thank you very much for all the tips and for being on with us today.
Absolutely.
I know you got to go. You can find Jeffrey David Gamble on my page or his page. And
if people have questions, Beth, if they want to put them at the end of your video or whatever, I'll film a video and answer all of them in the form of a video. I'll send it to you, and then you can send it out if you want to do that.
Okay, we'll take questions in a few minutes, too.
Okay.
So thank you very much for offering to do that.
Absolutely, guys. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I want to do a little 2-minute commercial for the MLM Millionaire Club, the School for Network Marketers. I put a link in the chat for you. It's a 75% discount for the school. Normally, the school is $400 a month, and with this discount, it's 75% off. And if you use that discount this week, it will fix your rate for good. So you may want to seriously think about this. This is a little open window to have a serious discount for the school. So we'd love to have you use it, love to have you join our wonderful team. And for those listening just on the phone, you can find that link to the discount at the Facebook party group. The Facebook event is called the MLM Millionaire Club Anniversary Party. Or just look on my page, Beth McCarty, and see all the links that go over to the Facebook event, and there you can get the discount for the club. And why would you be interested in that? Because it was a friend and a client back in Austin in that same networking group that said, Beth, I want to continue coaching with you when I can afford it. She was network marketing. We were doing private coaching. And I said, I think I'm going to make a way that everyone can afford coaching in network marketing. No one ever has to say that again. Everyone can afford coaching. You know, coaching can run $1,000 to a few $1,000s a month. Well, I made a way that was affordable so everybody can do it. So that is how the school started 13 years ago. And what we do in there is we get your, two things are important for your success, right? Number one is skills, that's 20% of success, and mindset is 80. And so in the club, we get your skills up to a 10. The 7 skills that Eric Worre mentions in his GoPro book, 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional, 7 skills. And we get those up to a 10. And those skills are finding people to talk to, inviting, presenting, including telling your story, following up, including handling objections, and signing them up, training them right so they have fast success right away and they don't leave, because most people leave in 2 months, so it's training them right. And then getting them to events, local and your company events and all that. So what we do is we take a month with each one of these skills and get those, upgrade your skills up to a 10 so that you get results. And then we take the rest of the year and we cover mindset with my trademark process called Real Conversations, which clears out any blocks to your mindset. And these work over time. They've proven themselves totally. That process I developed 20 years ago and use it with myself and students and clients and students. And so we use that. We teach you how to do that in the club. It's a self-coach process, and you can use this also with your team or your family or anybody. Now, some people, it's safe, it's generic, there's no recruiting allowed, just like at Eric Worre's policies and events, no recruiting allowed, so it's a safe place for everybody to come and learn together from each other, which we do a lot in the club. So I would like to ask the club members that are on right now, for example, Dr. Harvey, are you on? I think he might have had to go. Dr. Harvey, if you've dialed in. And if not,
I'm here.
You are there, okay.
I had to turn off the camera and call in, but I'm here.
Yes, because your family, I think, is there. Well, thank you. May I ask you what you, why are you in the club so long? I think it's about 10 years or something, but why are you in the MLM Millionaire Club that long?
Because I'm always learning. I'm always picking up new tips and tricks and pieces of advice. And the club also offers a safe space to ask questions and to get any issues that you maybe having worked out. So, like he was saying, it's always best to be a student. So there's more that I could learn.
Kind of a mastermind group where we all help each other, and you contribute so much, I know.
Right.
After 10 years, you find you're still learning, huh?
Yeah.
I think the top earners would say so, too. So thank you for that. And in a minute, we're going to take questions. If you guys have jotted any down, we can take questions for the panel members. Real quick, I'd like to ask Becky, why are you in the club? What have you gotten from it so far?
I've gotten a lot of encouragement from you, Beth, and I've learned quite a few things, too. One is to keep going. And I've learned that I can get more help than I thought I could.
There's help for every single situation, isn't there?
Personally, yeah.
So all you have to do when you
realize quite a while.
So all you have to do when you run into a block at any time, you just bring it to our there's 2 calls a week in the club, and you just bring it to the calls, and then I can help and the other club members help, and sometimes we all offer different things, and so in that way it's like a mastermind group, right? So you don't have to waste any downtime. You don't have to be out of commission for a while, right? You can get it solved and get right back on the horse and keep growing.
Yeah, we don't really learn just from you, although we learn a lot from you, and probably the most, but we learn from each other.
There certainly is an advantage to learning from people from other companies and a generic sharing, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much. And I just wanted to let people know that in the club, we have weekly email lessons that we send out, very powerful email lessons you can read in 1 minute and then put one idea into action. So it doesn't have to take a lot of time. But what we do is ABC. We read one of the emails and put things into action. That's A. And then B, we can get a support buddy in the club, and people support each other one-to-one even. And C, we dial into the live club teleclasses where you get live coaching and practice and role play with the skills, which Eric Worre says is essential to role play and get your skills up to a 10, and to practice with us and make your mistakes with us before you make them with your prospects, and especially your important ones. So it's just invaluable in all those ways. And again, the 75% discount for the school is available to you to use all week long. Anytime this week you can use that and join the school, and that will fix your rate at the 75% discount at just $97 a month for the time that for the life of your time that you're in the school. So this is a way to fix that rate. Even if the price goes up in the future or anything, you will stay at that rate. So very, very valuable. That link is in the chat here for those who are joined us online. And for those who dialed in, you can find that coupon, that link, that discount link for 75% off for good. You can find that in the Facebook event called MLM Millionaire Club Anniversary Party. MLM Club Anniversary Party. Or just go to my page, Beth McCarty, and you'll see all the links in there for the event. Go to the event, you can scroll down, you'll see the coupon. That's how you can find it. So we would love to have you. It's a wonderful group. And now I'd like to open it for questions. We've got a bit of time left. Or comments.
Hearing everybody's tips was very refreshing. I like that. It's very good. Gave me a boost.
I loved what everyone shared. Okay, let me ask this. If there's any questions, go ahead and speak now because you are all unmuted. Okay. And
I didn't catch the name of Darren Hardy's book that he mentioned. that
What was that name? Anybody catch the
Jeff
name?
David Campbell mentioned. What?
Did anybody catch the name of the book?
The compound effect.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Absolutely. And they say that the end there, I believe that he says that success is a few simple things that you do over and over. Just a few simple things that you do persistently and consistently, like Becky was talking about. And that's all. It's just being consistent, like you were saying, Becky.
Right.
Okay, here's what else we can do. I would love to hear from the rest of the listeners, or from anybody. What is one thing that you got tonight that you heard out of this many tips? One thing that struck you the most that you will put into action in your business this week, that you can commit to yourself to do that. What is your favorite thing you heard tonight that you will put into action?
Plan my day, and plan the people I'm going to talk to tomorrow. Plan it out ahead of time and carry it with me, and then it'll be easier for me to actually do it. It's already planned. So that's what I'm going to implement tomorrow.
Thank you, Adrienne. Or else your day runs you, right? You either choose your day, or your day chooses.
Exactly.
And other people might choose too, if you don't have a direction or focus. Awesome, girl. Anybody else like to share your one takeaway from tonight, what you heard?
I agree with that. Better planning of the day.
Yeah, I agree with that too. That was really good. And I really like, don't pressure people to join your group. And figure out what those 5 things are that you need to do every day, and do them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just too many things.
We like to pressure people, don't we? I mean, we like to try to make life work like we want it to work. But that sort of is a lazy way, instead of replacing connecting with the person and help them to know their hunger before you offer the solution.
Right.
And also cast a wide net. Just keep going through the numbers.
Yeah.
Was it Bill Britt said, all I did was show my plan to 1,200 people, and most of them said no. Then the rest signed up. Most of those quit, and of those that didn't quit, most of them didn't do anything. And then it got down to and 4 people left or something like that. 4 people out of that made me a multimillionaire. So you have to weather tons and tons of discouragement, right? So you just keep going through the numbers, keep doing your simple things.
And I love that idea of compliment people every single day rather than criticize. There are just so many good things.
That can get you a seat in a restaurant. That can get you discounts. That can give you people bending over backwards to help you, because it's love. Yeah. And in Eric Worre's 8-Step Invite in the GoPro book, right? He says, start out with a compliment. Oh, I love your shoes. I love your shoes. Or, you've always inspired me. Or you seem like such an open person. I met Susan Sly, a top earner in network marketing, one of Eric Worre's GoPro events. As soon as she sees me, she goes, I love that purple you're wearing. And it's like, oh, I love this woman, because she was giving me love, and she made me feel at ease around a big top earner. She was a speaker on the stage. She walked up to me and she goes, I love that purple color you're wearing. And she did. And it's like, oh, I don't know why. That's one of my favorite compliments I've ever got. That's just like, oh, it opened my heart to her, And she gave me an experience in that moment of a true compliment. How it can change you.
Yeah.
Thank you for those tips. Who else?
It really makes you become a better person, and as we become better people, things start to work because we're working it correctly. We're listening, we're complimenting them, we're finding out what's important to them instead of shoving the cake in their mouth. We don't know if they're hungry or not. So it just really makes, as we become better, the business gets better.
I have heard network marketers say that their marriages became better as a result. Have you heard that?
Yeah. It's really good.
Okay, who else on here has a takeaway from tonight?
Hi, it's Ann Harwood. I liked what John Maxwell had to say, plan your day before your day begins. That is really potent and very powerful.
Cool. Are you going to start that tonight?
I think I usually do it, but maybe I haven't been as conscious of it as I should have been. So there's my takeaway. Work on it harder.
Thank you, Ann. What do you think that's going to do for you? How is it going to change your business?
Well, it changes. It's all about staying positive. So Becky is the one that got me to listen on this call, so I appreciate that. So thank you, Becky. And I really liked a lot of stuff that John Maxwell had to say. So most people are always negative, and you have to keep sowing the seeds and keep working through people until you find the positive people. So when you do, I tend to plan my day a week in advance, but sometimes we're not as conscious, or sometimes we get discouraged. So we always need that positive voice, and I think listening to what you had to say and getting that positive voice, I really appreciated it all. And planning your day, I think, really does. When people show up and say, oh, I didn't know I had a meeting today, yeah, if they had thought and planned yesterday, they would have known they had a meeting.
Yeah.
So, and complimenting people, I get lots of giveaways from people. I get because people remember you complimented them. So the other takeaway is always compliment. And sometimes you do it without thinking. But when you walk into a room and people thank you for complimenting them, it's powerful. And we need a lot of love in this world. So I love this. This is a good conference tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Isn't this a business of love?
Yes,
how many people
very much.
People are talking about that all the time. Like Tom and Denise, they go, they just love on people. Just love your team and your prospects. Yep. And listen to them, listen and ask and care. And I just love that. Thank you very much for your thoughts. Anybody else? A favorite takeaway or a comment that you'd like to add? A tip you'd like to add?
This is Doris Haskins.
Hi, Doris. Oh, my goodness.
Hi.
Another member of the MLM Millionaire Club and a longtime network marketer and a very professional, wonderful lady.
Oh, thank you so much. Everyone has said all the things, but the one thing that I've been lax on is that self-development reading. And with that planning of the day and planning out that schedule, I'm going to make sure that I follow that up and give myself enough time. The John Maxwell about how early he gets up was like, okay, give yourself enough time to complete all those things that you need to go out to do.
Thank you. It sounds like John Maxwell puts the big rocks first. You guys may have heard that analogy where you get a jar, and if you put sand in it, then small rocks and medium rocks and big and then huge rocks, they don't all fit. But if you start out with the big rocks first, and then the medium can fall around it, and then the smaller can fall around that, and the sand can fill in that, and everything. So I've been thinking about that a lot too. Start out, make sure your important things get in there first, and it sounds like that's what he does. He's first. He makes himself first, huh? Builds up. Then he has a lot to give out because he has to write and speak. And you guys, you're always giving to people, listening to people, and caring and offering and giving them options and giving them hope. Somebody said that's what people want more than anything else is hope. And you guys have gold, and you are giving people hope for a better life when they probably don't have another way to get it. And if you ask people, my friend Lisa Grossman will say, are you happy? And, she gets around this, but essentially, are you happy? She said, because most people aren't. And do you have a plan? Because most people don't. Well, I have a plan. Would you like to hear it? See, people need hope. They need a way out of the corporate, missing their kids, retiring in poverty, being buried by student loans. They need hope how to get out of all this stuff. And you guys have this. So you have a wonderful, wonderful mission. Hey, Doris, can I ask you another question?
Yes.
I know you're muted, huh?
Uh-huh.
Just a little commercial for me and for the school. What would you say is the best thing that you've got from our work together, because we've done some private work and you've gone through a challenge with me, plus you're a student in the school. What would you say is the best thing you've gotten from all of that in our work together?
One, you're such a positive person that lends a level to everything in the teaching in the school, that when I'm out there working and negativity comes up, I remember the things that we learn in the school, and those that being in the school, that repetition, bringing our skills up to that 10, it sticks with me.
Thank you. You've been such an incredible friend and student and example of that. And I love learning from you, too.
Thank you much.
Thank you. So it's pretty wonderful to become more immune as time goes on to the negativity. And you really do need a place to recharge. A teamwork of supportive people, like-minded, mastermind. We all need this because there is that negativity out there, and you can get worn down by it. So you need to fill up your batteries, and that's one of the things that we do. That's one of the things the school accomplishes. Maybe you have everything you need in the team and with your sponsor and your upline, or maybe you don't. So if you don't, the people who don't, we help to fill that in. We help to compensate for that. And to shore you up, because nobody's upline is perfect. They're not trained as a therapist like I am. I happen to be a body-mind therapist as well as full-time previous network marketer for years, full-time for years, and now I bring both of those together. So how many uplines have that? Are a therapist when you need it, because blocks arise. It definitely helps. I bet everyone here can say, yep, you experienced that.
Yep.
Yep. So thank you. Blocks always come up. The unexpected always comes up, you guys. Challenges. And the real conversations, my method that I teach how to do that, self-coach it, or get on the club calls and we coach it through it. There's an answer for every problem. Remember that. There's a solution to every single problem that you face. Nothing is so big or unique or weird about you that it can't be solved and helped. We prove that over and over again. You're not so different. You're not so weird or out of it. All the top earners have gone through exactly what you guys have. All the top earners have been where you are at some point. So know that there's a solution, know where to find the help and the mentors and support, and I certainly hope to provide that. Anybody else? A comment? We're just about to have you at the top of the hour, close off. Anybody else have a comment, a takeaway?
Yeah, hi, it's Judy.
What you got tonight that you're going to put into action?
Hello? Yes? Can you hear me?
I'm going to compliment people more.
Well, this is Becky, and I really appreciate you encouraging me to get out of my comfort zone and speak.
We did that today. I said, Becky, this is scary, huh? Speaking. And she goes, yes. I go, are you willing to do this? She said, yes. I don't want to, but yes. And she always says yes, too, this girl. Oh, I admire you guys so much. You really, really, really inspire me. Did I interrupt you, Becky?
Oh.
Thank you.
No, that's
Any last
good.
comments? Questions?
This was really a good learning experience.
Keep going, you guys. You did wonderful, Becky. Everybody did wonderful speaking. Keep growing and sharing, you guys. Keep getting used to focusing on helping people instead of yourself. When I'm shy, I'm being selfish. I'm focusing on myself. So that's what we do as speakers, as teachers, as coaches to your team. When you get on stage, when you speak on a call, if you focus on people's needs and the people who need what you have to say, then it takes attention off self. Right? That's the only way I got over my shyness, because I used to hide in my room as a kid when my company come over to visit my family. So, then I go door to door, and I join my network marketing company because I really believe in it. Like in my early 20s, I go door to door, then I'm speaking and teaching and coaching, and I have a big team. And okay, it's time to let go of that selfish focus on me and focus on other people. And it's more fun. I'm going to have a lot of fun as a teacher. Thank you. Any last comments or questions before we close?
It was a great call. Really, really inspiring.
I feel inspired. I feel pretty lit up. Thank you all for being here. I am going to post the recording in the Facebook group called, on the Facebook event called MLM Millionaire Club Anniversary Party. So you can see the replay there. You can share it with people, share it with your team if you like. And the discount link will be there as well to join the school for 75% discount and fix your rate for good. There's a whole bunch of other goodies. The Always Get a Yes video is in there, and the book is also available to you also at a discount in that event, in the description. So there's so many good tools. You guys just love to share with you and love to welcome you into the club to keep learning with us. Please message me if you have any questions about any of that stuff. And the link, of course, is in the chat. And let's see, did anybody else leave a message in the chat? I should check that. Oh, there is some. Oh, Judy Roden tried to speak but no sound. She wants to say, I really like the part about the 5 things we can be good at and to know what it is, and to practice it every day. Read, write, think, speak, and there was one more. I'll have to listen to the replay to get that. Thank you, Judy. I'm so glad you could be here. Judy, yeah, I don't remember the last one. Okay, I'm glad for chat. Yay. Thank you so much, everybody. Gonna turn off the recording now, and I love you, and keep loving on people.
The other one.
The goal that you have. Bye-bye.